Hello, my name is Daniel Yuck. Thank you for watching today. I appreciate you, your time, and your support. In today's video, I want to go over different types of tattoo needles and the uses for beginners. Should you have any questions at any point throughout this video, I encourage you to drop a comment down below. I will do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring that bell for me, as I will be bringing more videos like this for you all. I do also have social medias under the same name as my YouTube channel. I have Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok, all under Daniel Yuck. I would appreciate the support over there as well. By the end of this video, you will walk away with information on needle uses and types, so be sure to stick around until the end of the video. I will also be leaving my Amazon affiliate links and other affiliate links for you in the description below to the needles that are featured here in this video, so that way you can check them out on your end. With that being said, let's get right on into this video. Let's start with the different types of needles that are available to us. So right here I have round liners, here are round shaders, here are mags and round mags, and over here are specialty needles. So the different types of needles that we have available to us would be round liners, round shaders, mags, and round mags, and then we also have specialty needles. Now I'm going to group specialty needles in one, as there are a different assortment of specialty needles that are available to us. I will be explaining more on each individual needle type as we get more into the uses. Right here I have a small assortment of round liners. This one is a 1 round liner, this is an 11, this is a 14 round liner, and this last one's an 18 round liner. When it comes to round liners, the name is kind of indicative to what they are good for. So round liners are good for lining. However, that indicative rule will be broken, and I'm going to explain more about that along the way. However, when it comes to round liners, they are fantastic for lining, and they do great at just that. We can go ahead and line with smaller configurations, like anywhere from a 3 round liner, 5 round liner. We have 11, 14. You can see that there is an assortment of different round liners that are available to us, all the way to an 18 round liner right here. I feel like it's important to note that with round liners specifically, what I've noticed is the smaller that we go on needle size with round liners, our mistakes tend to show up a lot more. So let's say if we don't have the best of line work and we're using, let's say, a 7 round liner or below, maybe even a 9 round liner, we're going to notice a lot of the wobbles, the needle depth inconsistencies. We are going to see all of that when it comes to smaller round liners. Don't get me wrong, round liners do a fantastic job at lining. We just have to do our part and meet the needle halfway and apply it technically correct to get good lining with round liners. Here's where that indicative rule comes into play. So not only are round liners great for lining, round liners can also be great for shading. For me personally, I enjoy using a 3 round liner to apply pepper stippled shading, whip shading, and I do get smooth results with a 3 round liner. So most like to lean towards, let's say, a mag or a curve mag, which we're going to get to here shortly. But me personally, I rather would reach for a 3 round liner over a mag first. I feel this is where we can kind of bend and break the rules. With the name, let's say, standard 3 round liner, we would think that the only application that we can do for this specific needle right here is line. However, if we bend the rules a little bit and we use a different application to apply a tattoo, we can get different results with the tools that we are using. So that's where we kind of get that indicative term from, where just because the word liner or shader is within the needle title, it doesn't mean that that's all that it can do. Also, on a side note, I don't recommend for beginners to use a 1 round liner. If you want to use smaller needle configurations, I would recommend starting with a 5 round liner. When you get comfortable with a 5 round liner, then you can take that newfound knowledge over to a 3 round liner, and then get more comfortable with a 3 round liner, and then kind of just transfer this over to every specific individual needle size that you want to use. So with round liners, not only are they great for lining and shading, they can be great for dot work and even textures as well. I also sculpt lines with round liners. So let's say if I have a line weight that's heavier than what I have available to me, I'll simply use one of the largest round liners that I have, and I'll go ahead and simply sculpt out those heavier line weights with a round liner and get the same results that I would have. So for round liner specific, there are multiple uses, as there are for every other needle configuration that we are going to talk about here. However, that is what round liners are good for. Here is a quick recap. Round liners are not only great for lining, but they can also be great for shading, they can be great for dot work, and they can also be great for sculpting and textures. Are you wanting to develop your tattooing skill sets? Now you can practice and develop anytime, any place with an assortment of tattooing workbooks that I've created. With these assorted tattooing workbooks, we can practice our basic lining all the way to advanced lining. We can practice shading, shading placement, dot work, textures, and more. All we are going to need is a tattoo workbook of mine. We can use a pencil, pen. We can even use a tattoo machine with a ballpoint cartridge to develop our tattooing abilities further. That means that we don't need tattoo ink, we don't need napkins or petroleum jelly to get to practicing. Simply open one of my tattooing workbooks and get going. It really is that easy. You can get your hands on one of my developmental tattooing assorted workbooks by simply clicking the links in my description or in the pinned comment section below, or navigating on over to Amazon.com, typing in Daniel Yuck, and you'll see all of the assorted tattoo workbooks that I've created come up. If you have an Amazon account, be sure to follow my Amazon author page as well, as I would greatly appreciate your support. Should you have any questions at all, drop them in the comment section down below. I will do my best to assist you in the best possible direction. With that being said, let's get right back into this video. Let's talk about round shaders now. Right here I have another small assortment. This is going to be a 3-round shader. This is going to be a 7-round shader, 18-round shader, and this is an 88-round shader. There's something special going on with this one. I'm going to touch base on that a little bit, but first let's talk about what round shaders are good for. When it comes to round shaders, again, that word round shader, that keyword shader right there, indicates that these needles would be good for shading. However, for me personally, I rarely, next to never actually, find myself shading with a round shader. In fact, what I use round shaders for is lining. I prefer to use a round shader because a round shaders produce bolder results. Not only that, another thing that I really do love about round shaders is that if we do tend to make a wobble or a mistake along the way, they are a lot more forgiving over round liners. As I mentioned earlier, round liners tend to show our mistakes a lot more when it comes to the smaller line weights of a round liner. When it comes to round shaders, they are a lot more forgiving. So from my experience, round shaders are great for lining. They are great for color packing. That is definitely not to say that we can't shade with a round shader, because we absolutely can. For me personally, I just don't find myself drifting to a round shader at the moment to shade. Again, I use a 3-round liner personally, and that's just my artistic preference. I would rather go with a 3-round liner over a round shader. However, to each their own. If you reach for a round shader to shade, who's to say otherwise? I really don't feel like that's wrong, but for me personally, these are some great uses that I found out of round shaders. Now, here's the thing with round shaders as well. I personally like to do a lot of mandalas that do have varying line weights throughout the entire design. So for example, some lines may be heavier in line weight, and that's where one of these round shaders would come in from. This one is a round shader from Inkclaw. This right here is an 88 round shader. Now the good thing, or the special thing here with this needle here, is that if you notice, the edge of the needle is actually curved. It's dome shaped. This is an 88 dome round shader right here from Inkclaw, and this is to produce a thicker line weight. So for me personally, I would get this needle specific, and I would just simply line the design the same way as I would with any other round shader, however doing it in one pass, getting this line weight for that specific design. That is how I would practically use one of these specialty round shaders. Now, they also go up to 111 round shaders as well. So there is an assortment of different round shaders that are available to us, and we can use these how we artistically want, that better suits our wants and needs as the artist. So that right there are some of my experiences with round shaders. Just a quick recap. Round shaders can be fantastic for lining. They are capable of shading. They are great for packing in, and they also are great for sculpting. And not only that, I have seen some artists use a round shader to get textures, which they are completely capable of. It all just comes down to how we artistically use these tools. But those are some things that round shaders are great for. Let's get on over into curve mags and mags. Here is a small assortment of a mag and some curve mags. Right here we have an 11 mag. This is just a straight mag, and I'm going to get more into that here in a bit. This is, I believe, a 9-round mag. This is a 15-round mag, and this one right here is a 23-round mag. Now you're going to notice all of these had that word round or curved in there. This one didn't. Here is the main difference. When it comes to mags, you're going to see that within this configuration right here, that the row is absolutely straight. There is no curve to this specific mag right here. Allow me to demonstrate with this one right here. And you're going to notice on this mag right here that it ends with a curve. So that right there is the main difference between curved mags and a mag. So if a needle is listed just as a mag, it means that it doesn't have a curve to it. So right here you can clearly see the difference between a mag and a curved mag. The left is the regular mag and on the right is the curve. Another thing about mags and curved mags, round mags, is that they often have a set of rows here, or they often have a row of needles, and it's kind of like a set of 2 needles, as you can see right here, right there. So these are often rowed like this, whether it is a straight mag or a curved mag, and you can see, so this is the front of the mag right here, and this is the side. Here is a clearer view. I just felt like it was important to include that in here so you can see that these are the 2 rows of the mag. And this one is a straight mag. Turn it this way and you can see both rows right there. That is the straight mag. Let me show you a curved mag here. So you can see this is the curved mag. Also in a double row. When it comes to mags and round mags or curved mags, they are often set together in a row of needles for a set number of needles, and again it could be in a straight or curved manner. These needles are great for multiple uses. It took me a while to actually grow into straight or curved mags or mags in general. For me personally, they were kind of tedious for me to use at the beginning just because I simply didn't have enough technique or experience under my belt to understand how to use mags. So for me, from my experience, I do feel like any sort of mag is going to be great for any sort of shading, whether it's going to be textured shading, smooth shading, soft shading. And they're also great for packing, whether you're packing color or packing black. However, not only are they great for all types of shading, round mags or mags in general can be great for textures within our tattoo. So if we're going for, let's say, a fur sort of design that really doesn't require much hard lining, then that's where these would come into play. It's going to be artistic preference, whether we want a straight edge or a curved edge. It's going to really be to each their own. I have also seen artists line with mags. I've seen artists line with curved mags. I've seen artists line with straight mags. Again, this is where that artistic preference comes into play, and where we bend those rules. Just because it has the word mag or it doesn't really have any indication as to what they specifically do, it's up to us as the artist to kind of take a look at the needle, take a look at our capabilities, and figure out ways to use these so that way we can produce awesome results. All in all, I do feel like working up to using any sort of mag is the way to go, especially if we're going to be doing designs that really don't require any hard lining and that do require a lot of fur or shading. I feel like learning how to use these would be the best way to go, or simply sticking with a 3-round liner and covering ground that way. Artistic preference to each their own. All in all, whether we're using curved mags or straight mags, there is a lot to be accomplished when using this sort of needle configuration. And again, a quick recap would be some lining. We can do smooth shading, whether it's going to be textured shading, soft shading, smooth shading. We can color blend with mags. We can also pack. We can black out. We can get textures within our tattoos. So there is a lot that we could accomplish with mags. When it comes to round liners, round shaders, and pretty much any sort of mag, what I previously showed you are the most common that we're going to come across. However, I did mention specialty needles earlier within the video, and I want to touch base on that more here. You can see that I have an assortment of crazier looking needles right here. On this side, what we have is a specialty needle on this needle right here, and this one's a special one for me. This needle right here offers, as you can see, it's listed as 5, and then we have that point. It's going to be a 003 round liner. What that means is that there is 5 003 round liners on the end of this needle tip. You can see it's the same concept with this needle, but except this needle is going to be listed as 3 003 round liners, and you're going to notice that at the end of this needle tip there are 3 3-round liners right here. Here is the 5 003 round liner tip. This one is a standard 3-round liner tip, and this one's times 3, this one's times 5 on the left. These can be great for a multitude of things. If I flip them over to the side, you're going to notice that they also only have 1 row. as in comparison to the mags and the curved mags, round mags that I shared with you, as there was two. These are great for textures. I can get smooth shading with these if I wanted. I can get a sort of stippled textured shading with these the same way that I would with a 3-round liner, which means that I can cover larger areas with shading with these sort of needles. I may be able to even flip the needle on over and line certain areas should I want to, if I didn't want to switch out the needle configuration that I was using. But you get the idea. So artistically, there are multiple applications that I can use these for. Every artist is going to find different ways to use these tools. So those are some specialty needles that I've come across, and that's from Inkclaw. This one right here is going to be a 123 round mag. Now this, pretty much the only couple of applications that I think that this would be great for would be for actually a few. You can do blackouts in larger areas with this, or just blackouts in general, covering more ground with fewer passes because there's more needles. I can see this great for shading in larger areas as well as doing textures in large areas. So let's say we're going to be doing a design on the back where it was like a full back piece of like a lion or a lot of fur going on, then this one would be great to use that because you can cover more ground and get the tattoo done in a more timely manner using something of this size. This one is a double row 123 round mag from Inkclaw, and you can see that there are different mags to suit our wants and needs and sizes. This one is a 39 round mag and this one is a 29 mag. Again, the difference is going to be up top where there is a curve and there is a straight edge, and that's the difference between a round or a curve mag and a mag. But this one is a 39 on the left, and on the right is going to be the 29. Right here is a round shader, and this one I showed you earlier, but I'll go ahead and show you again. This is an Inkclaw 88 dome round shader. So if we're needing a heavier line weight, there are specialty needles out there to suit our wants and needs as the artist. When it comes to using round shaders, again, we can really use them for whatever we want. I personally prefer to use a round shader of this size when I'm doing line weights that are this size and I want to do them in one pass, kind of so that way I can get in and out and cause the least amount of trauma to the skin. Then I will definitely navigate to a heavier line weight such as an 18 round shader all the way on up to Inkclaw's 111 round shader, as those are available to us as well. There are more specialty needles available on the market today. However, here are a few, and here's just an introduction to specialty needles. At the very least, now you know that they do exist. That right there I feel is a great place to conclude this video, and that would be some needle types and uses there. Now, if I didn't touch base on something specific, or if you have any questions at all, I'm going to highly encourage you to drop a comment down below. I will do my absolute best to assist you in the best possible direction. Please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring that bell for me, as I'm going to be bringing more videos like this for you all. I do also have social medias under the same name as my YouTube channel. I have Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok, all under Daniel Yuck. I would appreciate the support over there as well. With that being said, I thank you for your time and I appreciate you watching. You have a great day. Are you needing or wanting tattoo guidance? What about 4K high quality step-by-step follow-along tattoo sessions? Or maybe one-on-one tattoo support to get answers to your questions that are specifically tailored to your wants and needs as the artist? You can now become a Patreon where you will gain access to high quality 4K exclusive step-by-step follow-along tattoo sessions. I will be tattooing with you in a one-on-one step-by-step manner where I will be explaining what I am doing and why every step of the way. I will also be doing this in a high quality 4K format for your optimal viewing experience. On top of the one-on-one support and on top of the step-by-step tattoo session guidance, you will also gain access to exclusive tattoo stencils that you can download and place on your end to further develop your skill sets. I will leave a link for you in the description or in the pinned comment section below, or you can head on over to patreon.com/Daniel Yuck. When you become a Patreon, you will be getting one-on-one support where you can ask me as many questions as you'd like that are specifically tailored to your wants and needs as the artist. You will gain access to exclusive tattoo stencils that you can download and practice on your end. You'll also gain access to exclusive high quality 4K footage where I walk you through each and every tattoo session in a one-on-one step-by-step manner where I explain all the whats and whys along the way. Become a Patreon today. Thank you for your support in advance. I greatly appreciate you.